reproductive rights. This morning, I'm Marjorie Olson. I'm chair of Solano County Democrats. And I'm very proud of all of you people from Solano showing up at the spur of the moment. This morning, the Supreme Court of the United States, with disregard for settled law and precedents, took away the right of American women to make choices about their own reproductive health. The court awarded the authority to make these important private and personal decisions to the government. For 50 years, the Supreme Court of the United States has affirmed the right to privacy as a fundamental right. The consequences of this horrendous decision by the corruptly placed right-wing extremist majority will be dire for women's health. The decision not only takes away rights from American women, but also from unfortunate American girls, and subjects them to further victimization. It's a reversal of direction for the nation, which has been, until now, in the business of securing our rights as citizens. Do we believe that they will stop with this decision? What's coming next? Writing for the corrupt majority, Clarence Thomas has hinted at restricting contraception and gay rights. Supreme Court cherry-picked precedent from obscure decisions and archaic law from as long ago as 150 years to justify this decision, and they will do it again. Democrats and forward-looking people must work together to elect Democrats and put a stop to all of this narrow-minded and spiteful backsliding. Thank you. And we have a few people that would like to speak. From Benicia, we had the poet laureate sent us a poem, and I asked, yeah.
I am not the poet. I am Tammy, Harley, and I'm graciously read this. It is called Consequential Hearing. In the week before Mother's Day 2022, word leaked forth from the Supreme Court's innermost chambers that Roe v. Wade was doomed. More mothers, more frequently mothers. States freed to legislate, U.S. Congress to promulgate restrictions, denials of bodily integrity, of medical necessity to anyone who's pregnant. More mothers, more frequently mothers. And society, I guess, will bloom. A utopian myth unleashed. Employers will loosen work requirements for those exhausted or nauseous or debilitated by back pain or varicose veins. Maintain their salaries. Provide free child care. More mothers, more frequently mothers. Health care will be abundant and accessible for all who are pregnant, for all babies and children. More mothers, more frequently mothers. Trauma from incest will cease to exist. Damage from rape will dissipate. In the rosy aura provoked by total prohibition of abortion, more mothers, more frequently mothers. Some will die, of course, along the way, of natural complications, of acts of desperation, self-induced, or ineptly supplied. But there will be more babies to adopt. More mothers, more frequently mothers. For some, a Hallmark greeting card come true. This was written by Mary Susan Gass, the Benicia Poet Laureate, on May 5th, 2022.
We have another poem written by the chair of the Benicia Democratic Club. And we have a volunteer who will read it.
Hi, I'm Jean. I'm losing my hearing, so I talk real loud. I hope I'm not screaming. This was written by Roger Straw on June 24th. The nation, and I agree, 100%. The nation I used to love has gone mad. I'm living in a deadly spit, a near-divorce state, a whirlpool of Trumpian loathing and marching orders of Supremes that would take us back to the glory days of patriarchal authority and martial powers of guns and guns and guns and babies blooming unchecked in every womb. The nation I used to love is broken, and my love is lost for now. Divorce impossible. I'm trapped in a promise of decades of division, litigation that has an arc that bends not towards justice, but is crushed, or nearly so, under the weight of justices of right and fight and loathsome might. The nation I used to love is a memory held dear and kept safe for a century perhaps, a future for now unknown and yet to come, yet to come. No, that's Roger Straw. Thank you.
Next, Tiffanee Jones, who's Vice Chair of the Solano County Democratic Center, and also representing Lori Wilson's office, would like to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. I come on behalf of Democrats here in Solano County, and most importantly, our newly elected Solano County's own Lori D. Wilson, the 11th Assembly District. This morning, we sat on a phone call with the California Legislative Women's Caucus, and I want to bring information to our county as well as to anybody that is listening. There is a reproductive package that is being taken up right now in the California State Legislature and Assembly. These bills are very important for all of us to look out for and to give support behind. I will name each of them one by one and also direct you to the California Legislative Women Caucus website, where there was a press release released today, and you can get more information on all of these important pieces of legislation. First, AB 166, Rebecca Bauer Cahan, abortion civil actions, that was voted on today. AB 1918, Pratik Norris, California Reproductive Health Service Corps. AB 2091, Mia Bonta, Reproductive Health and Privacy. AB 2134, Weber, Reproductive Health Care. AB 2205, Carrillo, California Health Benefit Exchange, abortion service coverage reporting on AB 2205 requires that insurers submit an annual report containing information on how money is currently used in those accounts and how much money is being used to pay. AB 2223, Buffy Wicks, Reproductive Health. AB 2320, Garcia, Reproductive Health Care Pilot Program. AB 2586, Garcia, Reproductive and Sexual Health Working Group. AB 2626, Calderon, Medical Board of California, Licensee Discipline. SB 245, Gonzalez, Healthcare Coverage, Abortion Services, Cost Sharing. SB 1142, Cabrero and Skinner, Abortion Services. I want to touch on that one a little bit. SB 1142 creates a one-stop shop internet webpage under the California Health and Human Services that will direct individuals to links for abortion care, post-operation resources, abortion financial support services, and healthcare services and resources. SB 1245, Los Angeles County Abortion Access Safe Haven Pilot Program. And I want to touch on this one. This will fund a pilot program for Los Angeles County to build on statewide efforts to advance California as a reproductive freedom state. This program will house innovative approaches and patient-centered collaborations to safeguard access to abortion for patients coming to Los Angeles County, regardless of where their permanent residence is. we could duplicate something like that up here very easily. SB 1375, nursing and nurse practitioners, and I want to touch on this one. SB 1375 would increase access and affordability in healthcare and abortion services for all Californians. Specifically, the bill would make necessary clarifications to existing laws that allow nurse practitioners to meet specified criteria to practice paid independently without physician supervision. SB 1375 will also address the shortage of healthcare professionals available to provide early abortion care, and by allowing nurse practitioners authorization to practice independently and to provide first trimester abortion care without a physician supervision. Solano County in California, we need to get active. We need to start writing, sending letters, making phone calls. These pieces of legislation are important. This package is extremely important to each and every one of us. I thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, please feel free to call me.
I'm Barbara Gaea. I'm not an official. I'm one of they call the Democrat Party grunts. You know, put up yard signs, work the fundraisers, all that. My last name means Mother Earth, so Gaea. And I was watching, trying not to be overwhelmed by that wonderful talk. And I was looking at the flag and thinking, damn, that should be a half-mast for all the women who have died and all the women who will die. Because the reason my sign looks like this is I'm one of many, like my sister and a lot of my friends, who've had pro-Roe v. Wade abortions. And I highly recommend trying to find those documentaries that are starting to flood HBO and Showtime and PBS, getting the stories. And everyone is so different. You know, Barbara Lee's is a pretty powerful one. But two things that stood out for me was one is sometimes they assume that there's regret and it's really hard and it's a heart-wrenching decision. Hell no. To me, I'm one of those who believe that life begins with breath. And there's plenty of babies on the planet, and that was a growth, and I needed to get it held out by any means necessary. And if I didn't have a great contact with my therapist who got me up to Madison, Wisconsin, there was no anesthetic, but it was very professional. On a side, I want to tell you, when I really did learn that pain is attention paid to it, because she just kept squeezing my hand and firing questions to me about my family and everybody, so I couldn't pay attention to the pain. But the main thing was that there was not a second of remorse, not a split second, never has been. So the reason this means so much to me, suicide is not pro-life, is that how many suicides can be traced back to positive pregnancy tests? I'm seeing a lot of people go, yeah. There's no way of knowing. I mean, back centuries, of course. And the other thing I want to end with is, I hope it's not lost on anybody, the two big Supreme Court decisions. One is that, well, if you're, a person of color, or a different religion in a church, or a gay at a big bar, or some kids in a grade school, or high school kids, your life, well, I guess it's expendable because we can't touch those gun laws. But if it's still in the womb, we gotta fight for it. I mean, I can't think of words strong enough for the moral hypocrisy of the juxtaposition of those two decisions this week. It just makes my brain want to explode. So when you talk to people, remember, is suicide pro-life? Because there's countless numbers of suicides out there that can be traced back to pregnancy tests. Thank you.
So my name is Monica Brown, County Board of Supervisor, District 2. I apologize, I had it written down at 5:30, because I was upstairs. So here we go. So the beautiful thing about a computer is that it does print for you. Okay, give me a second, guys. I organized this. Yeah, well, you can. Here, you just set this back. Put it in order. All right, so
Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy from Bakersfield called the court decision the most important pro-life ruling in United States history. Hold on, it gets better. It gets better. It gets better, guys. I'm not done. The people have won a victory. The right to life has been vindicated. The voiceless will finally have a voice. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Yep, thank you. You know I'm going to have a story on this one. He said millions of Americans have spent a half a century praying, marching, and working toward historic victories for the rule of law and for innocent life. Just one sec. So several weeks ago, the House passed an emergency spending to address the nationwide shortage of baby formula. It was known, or is known, as the Infant Formula Supplemental Appropriation Act, and 192 Republicans voted against it. Now think about that, because they only want to be in your uterus, which I don't understand why, but whatever. So here are the wonderful people, because I highlighted some of the 192, because some of them, all of them need to go desperately. And one finally did get kicked out, and that is Madison Cawthorn is going to be gone. Yeah. Okay. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who doesn't understand English very well, but I didn't have her. Jim Jordan, be careful, guys, because if the House takes over, I don't know what he's going to do, other than, I don't know, not understand Me Too. Good old Kevin McCarthy, and Tom Clicked-Off, who, as far as I'm concerned, is a carpetbagger. So those are, if you need the look at all 192, here we go. Oh, I'm not done. Illinois. Roll is a haven of abortion care in the Midwest. And it was today when the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade, reverses nearly a half a century of federally reproductive freedom. So I want everybody to think about what that's going to mean to our sisters, especially, who have no money. They don't know what it is that they're going to do. Keep that thought in mind, because this isn't the real reason. Because Justice Thomas, I guess he doesn't do pillow talk with his wife, who wants to overturn the United States anyway, said that the legal rationale for Friday's decision could be applied to overturn major cases such as legalize gay marriage, such as contraceptives. Sorry, you don't want to have contraception. You want to have contraceptives. And also dealing with whether or not you are in love with someone who's a different color. Think about it. All of those rulings are based on what happened with Roe versus Wade. So this is what I did. So if we're going to make any changes, number one, ACA number 10 is going to be on the November ballot. Everybody needs to be registered to vote. Everybody needs to vote. And so help me God, if we don't take this back, and not only in California, but the rest, because I agree with you, that the deflecting of guns was how they did it in this order. And yesterday I mentioned at the board, I am not happy that you get to walk around now and just have a gun with you. And AK-47s are the first thing that comes into my mind. So what I have done is I am contributing $500 to the National Abortion Federation. Now the nice thing about this one, and I have my check right here so my treasurer can double check with me. The nice thing about this one is that it helps patients access to abortion care. And we have to be very careful. We need to help with that. And so next time you go to Starbucks, save that $5. Save it up. Start sending your money to places where they need to go. And what it is that all the money raised helps patients who need help traveling or expenses to obtain their abortion care. Then the other is I'm giving $500 to Planned Parenthood, who also deals with the fact that it's not always abortion in Planned Parenthood. It's like getting your IUD. It's like getting your birth control pills free. It's like getting your pap smear. That's what Planned Parenthood does, and we need to work on that. But here's one more thing. So I was talking with my daughter, and since she's in Spain, we're texting by the talking. She goes, Mom, did you know that if you want to get an IUD, your insurance has to approve it? But if you want to get a vasectomy, no problem, you just walk in. I am tired of this. I am tired of the fact that I feel like we've taken 5 steps back. And the only way that we're going to take it back is that we have to get out and vote. And that means we have to, just from now until November 7th, guys, just decide that you're not going to have a life. Because it's not just California. We've got to make sure that every woman has equal access to what we have in California. It is not fair that because we happen to live in the best state, that everybody else has to be treated differently and wrong. And anger doesn't even come close to how I feel. So, okay, so to the men that are here, thank you. But I'm going to tell you right now that Justice Thomas is not going to rest. And the only way that'll happen is that we make sure that the Democrats keep the House with more than, 4 votes. Make sure that we have some decent senators in there, like I need 11. Do you want to have the doctor from Pennsylvania? You guys all know Dr. Oz, right? Why do we want him as a U.S. Senator?
No.
Thank you all. I'm not the last person, don't get me wrong, but thank you very much. Together we can make this happen, but if we don't stand together, guys, we're going to have Kevin McCarthy be the Speaker of the House. Yes. And okay, Jim Jordan will have something because, you know, he's still there and hasn't gone to jail yet, along with everybody else. So, okay, I'm going to be okay. We're going to be okay because we're going to help each other through this. Bless Paula for being up early this morning when I got up and I was in tears. So, I don't have the personal story, but my own gut is that when I was pregnant with both kids and I had all the testing and stuff, I knew that if there was a problem, I would be able to get an abortion. You know right now that there's some little girl that's being sexually abused by somebody in her family and she's not going to be able to take care of it. That is what bothers me. That is what keeps me up at night. Okay, so now I'm done, I think. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Well, Monica's a hard act to follow. But I think everyone woke up really angry this morning, the kind of an anger I haven't felt in a long time. I don't know if you felt that. But it's the notion that they think they even have the right to do this. Not just that they did it, but that they think. And that's actually what's going on, is they think we are less than them. And I think we've internalized it, and we think we're less than them in terms of power. And, okay, good, except for Jean. But I think I do not see, prove me wrong, I do not see a lot of women using their power. I see a lot of women who've internalized this. And I think it's time, you know, that changes. Okay. Maybe it's, so talking about the way this is going to change. I'm driving over here listening to the NPR, whatever. And it turns out that the only way to change this is to expand a right-wing court that is imposing extreme right Christian beliefs on what is supposed to be a secular nation. In the Jewish religion, I'm not Jewish, but in the Jewish religion, a child is not considered until they're born. You know, it's not sacred or whatever. So they're basically getting rid of secularism in this country. Now, how can we fix this? There is a way to fix it. The Supreme Court has to be expanded. It has to be expanded. In order to do that, we need 54 votes in the Senate. That means that this Senate race This time is so important. Now, what do we say? Well, we don't have anything to do with them. They're in other states. Pick one. Just pick one senator in a different state. Don't feel like you have to do everything. Support that senator, right? Because we all can't do everything, but if we all do a little bit, we'll get it done. And we're 50% of the population, and enough of this bullshit. You know, just enough.
Yeah!
Yeah. So with 54 votes, we expand that court and we stop the right wing. Otherwise, now, what Stacey Abrams' group, the most successful organizing group to get people out to vote in this country, what do they say is the most important thing? If we're going to actually get those Senate seats, what do we have to do? It means everyone has to have a voting plan. That means we have to put energy into it. So when those ballots go in, they don't get rejected. If they suddenly say you can't vote over here, where can you vote? And that's what they have put tremendous energy in Georgia. Yes, and they have succeeded, and we need to learn from them. So I would suggest as a follow-up action that we form some type of group that will do that, or we can contribute to groups that do that in the swing states, because we cannot lose the House, and we must increase our numbers in the Senate. Thank you for listening to me.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Okay, come on. We are here to fight for rights. Why are people not pumped up? Okay, are we not angered? Yes. Are we? I don't hear it. Are we angered? Yes. Thank you. I want them to hear it over there because that's when the men are. Are we angered? Yes. Thank you. Okay. I'm India Johnson. I'm a candidate for Fairfield City Council District 1, and I'm a CEO of a nonprofit. But most importantly, I am a woman here. I am here to speak about what is going on as well. And while it may be redundant, it is important that we keep hearing this. This is just the beginning of what they're going to do to us. I want that to be straight. They are starting with this and will keep going, just like Miss Monica said. And that's not okay. It doesn't matter if it is your sister, your cousin, your mother, your grandma. If it is a person who can bear a child, they deserve the right to terminate if they choose. Okay? So we need to get activated. We need to educate the public. We need to educate our children and tell them why it is important to respect everybody's choice. Is that clear? Because I'm not hearing nothing. So I just want you to know, I really love seeing you out here. Sorry, I don't mean to put you on the spot. But we need to see more young ones. We need to educate, we need to talk about it, and we need to push back when someone questions our choices. That's all I'd say.
Hello, hello, hello. Solano County, are you in the house? Are you in the house? Are you pissed off tonight? I said, are you pissed off tonight? Beasley-Stansberry here. I'm representing Vallejo. I'm from District 5. And how we do it is we want to let you know that our bodies belong to us. We have the right to make our own decisions. When you woke up this morning, did you need anybody to tell you what to do, ladies? Did you need anybody to tell you to govern your body? Keep our government in the government, and you keep our bodies with our bodies. Our minds and our bodies. We are one, ladies. We are sisters. I don't care if you are black, white, brown, yellow, green, purple, and red. We are all women, and we have got to stick to what? I said stick what? Yes, we got to stick together. But more importantly, we have to let them know when we vote on November 8th, we're not playing games around here in Solano County. Just like our supervisor said, and out of the mouth of the babes here, we have to stick together. There is no time for us to sit back on the couch. There is no time for us to wear an apron anymore. We are in the Senate, we are in Congress, we are in City Council, we are mayors, and we are running this world right now. Why can't we run our own bodies? Thank you.
all the speakers, unless there's someone who would really like to speak, because I said we'd be here till 6, if there's someone who has a little message. Okay.
Hi, I'm Lerecia. I grew up in Vallejo. I live in Fairfield now. And when I woke up this morning and put this shirt on, it wasn't with the anticipation that I would end up here today. But I'm angry. And I think we're all kind of quiet because we're in shock that in the year 2022, we are still being told what to do with our bodies. And to think that people really think that an abortion is an easy thing, that women are just walking into abortion offices, just getting abortions all the time, and instead of taking birth control, and instead of having some self-control, they do not understand what it means to have a uterus. The type of decisions that you have to make all the time when you have a uterus, when you find out you have uterine cancer, when you find out that you have ovarian cysts, when you find out that you need now HPV shots, when you find out that now you can't have a child, or you're pregnant and it's the wrong time. You will never be able to understand that, so how can you regulate such a personal thing? We are not being allowed to tell men when to get a vasectomy. And you can tell how much they care about the rights of women by how we're still treated during our treatments. We are still using medieval tools to have a pap smear because no one even cares to put some rubber on the gloves that they are the tools that they pry you open with. We are still being cranked open in these offices at gynecology in the year 2022, and we can almost teleport with a phone because nobody cares about the comfort of a woman. But they want us to bear all of the babies to add to the workforce, to add to the economy, and they want us to go do it while we go to work. Do it without the support, because let us make clear, we are not adequately prepared for babies. At this point in life, we cannot even feed the babies. How dare they put forth a law like this in the middle of an infant formula shortage? How dare you put forth a law like this in the middle of a teaching crisis? There are not enough teachers. The teachers are not paid enough. How dare you put forth a law like this when our children are being gunned down by AKAs, not hunting rifles, not something manageable, but something where the police are literally outdone? How can you pass a law like this at a time such as now? At a time such as now, it makes 0 sense. It makes 0 sense. And let me tell you, there is not a woman that does not remember that decision that had to be made. I am a mother of 2, should have been 3. But because of the fact that it was the wrong timing, and I had that choice to choose, I have never felt more patriotic. As a black woman, the only time in my life that I felt patriotic is when I had that right over my own body to say, you know what, it's not time. And I went on to earn 2 degrees from UC Davis and to sit on the planning commission for the city of Fairfield, and I have a 6-month baby at home because you know what, it was time. But no one deserves the right to tell you when it is time. So right now, please understand, it is our time to step forward and take it back. It's too much working. They have us just toiling on this hamster wheel where we'll never stop and take a moment until we lose our rights. Because in this country, we have grown to believe that all of the heavy lifting has already been done. Because we've had civil rights movements, because we've been comfortable. But today is a reminder that at any point in life, all of our rights can be wiped out just like that. I did not wake up today thinking that I would need to be here. I woke up today, #MomLife, feeding my kids, going about my day. But at any given point in time, our rights can be taken from us. It's time to stop working and bickering and being internet gangsters and activists and really show up to the polls, really show up to these groups, really put your $5, $2, whatever you have left behind the people that are getting things done. Because like they said earlier, it starts here, but where does it end? Thank you for listening to me. I'm just angry, so thank you so much for letting me speak.
get here. I'm Ana Petero. I'm the 19th-year resident of this community. I'm on the FSUSD school board. I speak for myself. I'm also a teacher. When I was 23 years old, I had an abortion. I was married, I had 3 children. The father of my child said, I don't know if I'm going to have anything to do with this person, with this baby. So you're on your own. I was going through a divorce, single mother, and at 12 weeks I chose to have an abortion. This was in Utah. You can't do that in Utah today. We got here because during World War II, when the men went to war, who took care of our society? Women went to work. And then when they came back from war, they shamed us into going back into the household and made us wear aprons and take care of our children and shamed us. If you went to work, how rude. In 1964, we got the pill. We got to decide when and where we were going to have our children. We wanted to have an education. And what did they say? We are ruining the family. Why is it that men get to decide when they want to have a family and we don't get to decide when we want to have a family? We're not your fucking incubators. We're not going to go back to this. Why aren't we regulating penises? Women can have 1 baby at a time, 9 months of incubation. You know how many babies a man can have in a year? As many as he wants. Hundreds of thousands. Why aren't we regulating them? Why aren't they advocating to be regulated? We get regulated. They tell us, you know what, you're not smart enough. You're not good enough. You're not capable of taking care of your body. But you know what happens when the ills of society happen? They blame us. Are we that powerful and weak? We can't be both, right? And then they say you have to go to work after you have your babies. But then when your children act up, why aren't you home taking care of your babies? What are we to do? And so many of us do this by ourselves. And they're the ones who are going to suffer because the rich women get to fly all over the place and have their babies, have abortions anywhere, and nobody needs to know. Somebody just out of town, some of us remember Peyton Place, right? They send the young girl off, and she comes back 9 months later. Baby's gone. A woman who is socioeconomically disadvantaged cannot do that. She has to take a bus to work and then come home and take care of her family. Who's going to feed her family if she's not working? And then you shame her and just go into working. Why can't she stay home and take care of her kids? Because she can't. Who's going to take care of us? We got here because we let those things slide. Ladies, women, can we stick together for once? For once, we bicker. You know why men are successful? Because they can put their differences aside to accomplish a task. And look at what they did. What did we do, women? We bicker, right? We're so pedantic. We're so parochial. Look at our children. My daughters and my granddaughters do not have the right in Utah to have an abortion, to have her own choice, to make up her own mind. She doesn't have that today. We women, you know, there's a Native American saying that says, listen to the elders, but follow the youth. And dear Johnson just spoke today. She's our future. The Alito is taking us back to the 1800s. These young people need to take us to the future, and we need to help them. Ladies, can we support each other? As one of our speakers said, whether you're white, black, green, purple, I don't care what you are. As long as you have a vagina, let's stick together. Hands off our bodies. We can't go back to this.
I brought popsicles. I thought it would be hot today, so they're in the cooler there. I would like one. And Tiffanee brought water, so if you'd like that, in the cooler right there. And is there any other person who feels inspired to say something? It's pretty inspirational today. So, all right, well, let's go forward and stick together as we're talking about.